Good evening, high school football fans. This is High School Football America for August the 27th, 2015. I'm Jeff Fisher, host of the show and founder and editor-in-chief of High School Football America and highschoolfootballamerica.com. It's full steam ahead as more states get into the fun. The 2015 high school football season kicking its heels up, picking up speed, and here in Southern California, week 0 is upon us. Looking forward to tomorrow night. I'm going to head up to Santa Ana. Big showdown as number 18, Mater Dei, in the High School Football America Top 25, takes on a team just outside of it, Bishop Gorman, number 31 in our preseason rankings. As you know, this year the algorithm has been expanded to do the top 50. We're also doing a Southern California Top 25 using the algorithm, and as the season goes on, we're going to expand to some regional rankings with it as well. It's going to be a lot of fun, and just happy to go out and hear some pads pop. Did it last week. I had a chance on Friday to check out Corona Centennial, number 6 in our top 25, scrimmage against Santa Margarita from the Trinity League. Oh, the Huskies look good under Matt Logan, and they will open the season against a team from Utah East coming up. You can check out what Matt has to say about that game on highschoolfootballamerica.com. We have a lot of preview videos coming out today and tomorrow. All the Trinity League teams will be featured on highschoolfootballamerica.com. We are the proud part of the USA Today High School Sports Network here in Southern California. USA Today High School Sports, the leader out there when it comes to doing this for a long, long time. They are America's leading platform for high school football. They've been doing the Super 25 team rankings since the early 80s, and their expert American Family Insurance All-USA list. Well, they've been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades, so you can check them out at USA Today HSS.com. And we get our 2-minute drill on there twice a week. Today's was Kenny Sanchez. And speaking of Kenny Sanchez, who is the new head coach at Bishop Gorman, he will be the first guest on the show coming up in just about 10 minutes. Kenny Sanchez taking over for his brother Tony. Tony and Kenny building that program over the last 6 years, 6 straight. Nevada state championships. They are number 4 in our preseason poll. By the way, a lot of people asking, are we going to do an update on the poll? Of course we are, but we wait until everybody gets underway, and Labor Day weekend is when our first poll will come out. We release on Sundays. We're first. We're ahead of everybody else, and we wait until the first couple of weekends to make sure the algorithm is working properly, get some teams in there, and then it starts to break everything out. So our first poll after the preseason, which we released on August the 1st, will be on September 6th, and then every Sunday after. Last 2 years using the algorithm, we have not released the algorithm basically during the postseason, but we're going to do that this year. A lot of requests for that. We did a end of the regular season and end of the season poll this year. We're going to be doing it straight on through with the postseason, so it'll be fun to see how all of that evolves. And it'll be fun, by the way, to check out some of the teams in the top 25. As a matter of fact, we have, I believe, 10 teams in all that are in our preseason top 25 that will be seen on the ESPN family of networks this weekend, as they have the Geico Kickoff Classic with 10 big games. And we'll get everything started on ESPN tomorrow night with a big showdown in Florida. Of course, maybe a little bit of luster off of it. Booker T. Washington, which is on that long win streak, 41 straight. They won some mythical national championships a couple of years ago. They will take on St. Thomas Aquinas in the opener. They're number 5 on our preseason top 25 list. St. Thomas Aquinas. That game will be played at Brian Piccolo Stadium at St. Thomas Aquinas, and it's a matchup of 2014 state champs. It will be 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night on ESPN. Booker T has lost some talent, but we were at the Media Day in South Florida put on by the Miami Dolphins several weeks ago. Booker T, everybody keeps saying, don't count them out. Yeah, they lost some talent, talent, but you have a program there that's built on tradition, especially over the last couple of years. They have lost a couple of head coaches, and that's one of the reasons why everybody's kind of saying, well, maybe the Tornadoes will not be as good this year. We'll find out in a hurry tomorrow night. Also tomorrow night, a battle in Mississippi, the Little Egg Bowl, Oxford in the other 25 for us against Starkville. Starkville, of course, last year ending up in the top 25. Their coaches moved on, but Starkville, 13-1 last year, got to the state semifinals. It'll be fun to watch that Mississippi game. So 2 high school football games on ESPN tomorrow night. St. Thomas Aquinas and Booker T on ESPN. Oxford and Starkville from Mississippi on ESPNU. And then things get cranked up Saturday. Oh, man, wall-to-wall football on ESPN. It all gets started at noon on ESPN Eastern Time. Oh, boy, we're going to find out in a hurry whether Miami Central is primed for a run at a national title. They're number 4 in our preseason rankings, a little bit higher in some of the other ones, taking on DeMatha from Maryland. They are number 21 in our national rankings. In USA Today Super 25, they're number 5, so it's actually a showdown if you look at the Super 25 teams between Miami Central and DeMatha, number 2 and number 5 there. Of course, Jim Halley, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, the guy that puts together the Super 25, the expert poll. We use the algorithm, so that's why there's a difference in how far apart DeMatha is versus USA Today's. But at noon on ESPN, those two will collide. That'll be just a great game. Miami Central last year opening up on the road, taking down Hoover in Alabama. See if the Rockets can do it again. Talked to head coach Roland Smith on the show several months ago when he was the High School Football America NHSCA National Coach of the Year. And then I talked to him at the Dolphins Media Day for South Florida, and Coach said, hey, we take this very seriously on the road. We've done it a couple of times now, back-to-back years. We know what we're doing. And, oh, by the way, Jeff, yes, we are playing for a national championship. He does not duck that phraseology there. He likes saying that the Rockets want to win a national championship. And the only thing really kind of standing in their way the last couple of years are those 2 losses to Booker T. Washington. And, of course, they'll get a shot at each other later on in September this year. But Miami Central versus DeMatha on ESPN, noon Eastern Time. That's one to watch. At 1 o'clock on ESPNU, Spartanburg from South Carolina, number 24 in our preseason poll. Defending champs there, taking on Wakulla from Florida. They, of course, are led by Felipe Franks, one of the top quarterbacks in the country. He's verbally committed to LSU. They've got a lot of talent there, do they? At Wakulla and Spartanburg, they do as well. They were 12-3 last year, and look out for them. And then at 4 o'clock on ESPNU, Ohio, the Buckeye State, Benedictine taking on Central Catholic from Toledo. Then they go to Texas on ESPN2, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. DeSoto, number 5 in our preseason rankings. By the way, I think I said earlier that St. Thomas Aquinas was number 4 or 5 in our rankings. They are actually number 8 in our preseason rankings. I apologize on that. But DeSoto is number 5 from Texas, and that will be a dandy as Arlington Martin will take on DeSoto. Martin coming off a good 10-3 season, and Tristan Wallace, the quarterback who's committed to Ohio State, back for his senior season at DeSoto. At 7 o'clock Eastern Time, ESPNU has Archer, number 15 in our preseason rankings, out of Georgia, taking on Peachtree Ridge. Tigers opened the season with a victory last week. And then the one that I'm really waiting for, well, actually there's 2 Saturday night that I'm waiting for, but one more than the other. 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. De La Salle from California, number 1 in the High School Football America preseason top 25, travels to Texas to take on Euless Trinity, a Texas Power, number number 23 in our preseason rankings. That should be a dandy. You're going to have to flip back and forth because at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPNU, out of Bishop Gorman High School, Chandler, ranked number 20 in the USA Today Super 25. They're just outside of our top 25, taking on Bishop Gorman. We had Sean Aguano, the head coach at Chandler, on last week's show. Again, Kenny Sanchez coming up in just a couple of minutes to talk about that one. And then the final game on ESPN, again, 10 games this weekend, Sunday, 2 o'clock on ESPNU. IMG Academy taking on Miramar. IMG Academy, number 20 in our preseason rankings. They were number 2 in the USA Today Super 25, but American Heritage from Plantation took them down 19-7 in a kickoff classic last Saturday. Great game between the two. But, IMG's got all that talent there. Now, Kevin Wright's got to bring them together, see if he can make them into a team that's living up to its national rankings. IMG Academy against Miramar. Miramar, they're a good program, so it'll be interesting to see how everything cranks out with all of those big matchups this weekend on ESPN. Want to welcome in all of our partners on the show right now. We talked about USA Today high school sports. Now time to talk about Echo 1612. I tweeted out earlier today, if you're still telling your players what happened on a play after it happened, you're a dinosaur. And you know what happened to the dinosaurs, right? You need Echo 1612. Echo 1612 is the leader. They're the first. They invented instant replay for the sidelines, and these guys continue to improve it. Coaches making it for coaches. Folks, why would you go anywhere else? Yeah, there's some imitators out there, as there always are when somebody comes first to market. But Echo 1612, those are the guys that do it right. You can do it without Wi-Fi, without a cellular connection, without a data plan. This thing works in the middle of the desert. Earlier this year, you heard founder Chad Cargill here on High School Football America talk about taking it into the desert and how well it worked. There's not a signal out there, but it worked out there. These guys get it right. 1612, well, that's actually rule 1.6.1.2, which makes it legal. It's NFHS approved. The only place you can't use it during games would be Texas and Massachusetts, but you can use it for practice. Again, there's a reason people enjoy show and tell instead of just tell, because you get to see what's going on. And that's the best thing you can say about Echo 1612. Go to echo1612.com to learn more about their great instant replay sideline system. One camera or two. It works for either just an up top camera up on the booth there, or you can combine it with up top and your end zone camera. It's a great product. Proud to have them as part of the High School Football America family. Also proud to have Crossover. Speaking of technology that makes you better, gives you that competitive edge. If you're scouting opponents with Crossover's game film breakdown platform, if you're not, I should say, you're missing an opportunity that will give you a huge edge over the competition. Jason Strunk, who writes the turnaround for us at Lubbock High School in West Texas, wrote a review on it. You can read it at highschoolfootballamerica.com. He believes it's going to save him and his program $10,000 in countless hours of time breaking down film. Crossover service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. It's very compatible with Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They're also automatically preparing a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. Now, we all know that each and every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover.com/football. Just go to highschoolfootballamerica.com, the banner ad right there at the top of the page. Click on it. It will get you to your free demo for crossover. And our final partner tonight. Actually, we've got two more. I forgot. ScoreStream came on board last week, and boy, have people loved the ability to go to highschoolfootballamerica.com Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, whenever your team is playing, and get those live updates of the scores. And you can get the great app and that they have at scorestream.com. And the greatest thing is you can go out there to your favorite team and live score, crowdsource the score. Yeah, you can put up videos and photos, all those fun things. Go to scorestream.com to learn more. And again, go to High School Football America throughout the weekend to get everything updated. We've got a top 25 scoreboard. We've got a Southern California scoreboard. We've got individual state-by-state scoreboards. No easier way to find your scores than by going to High School Football America, powered by ScoreStream. And now, finally, our good friends at Southern Sport, the TDI Razor. Oh, boy. Trish the other day, Trish Hoffman, my co-host, partner, business partner, longtime girlfriend, should be the wife. We'll get that taken care of soon enough. But anyway, she complained that I had rubber pellets from field turf in the house last week when I was out at one of the fields. And she was right. You get them all over your feet. You get them in your shoes. They're disgusting. The TDI Razor, the debris inhibitor razor, will keep those pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes, and it will also give you the great look of spatting without the high cost of tape. And we know tape rolls are very, very expensive at, $4 a piece. Go to TDI Razor. That's razor with a U, R-A-Z-U-R, TDIrazor.com. Use the special code HSFA to get a discount on your order. 23 great colors, American made. Yep, wave that red, white, and blue and put on the spats, and you'll look pretty darn sharp. So check out the good folks at Southern Sport, the TDI Razor, debris inhibitor razor. Don't forget to follow us on our social media outlets. Twitter, our handle is HSFB America. We also have our Facebook clicking along at facebook.com/High School Football America. Instagram, our YouTube channel, tons of video up there. And we'll have more coming up, as I said, on the Trinity League and other Southern California teams over the next 2 days. That's youtube.com/HSFB America. And the 2-minute drill every day. Get your daily dose. And we also have it on USA Today, HSS.com. Proud partner of USA Today High School Sports. Check it out. You can subscribe for free on iTunes or listen on our website at highschoolfootballamerica.com. All right, time to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Kenny Sanchez of Bishop Gorman. Also later in the show, forgot to mention him, our good friend from Pennsylvania, Dave Mika, EasternPAFootball.com, WesternPAFootball.net. Dave and I go way back, 20-plus years, and he is going to give us the Keystone State lowdown. And you can take the boy out of Pennsylvania, but you can't take Pennsylvania out of the boy. I love talking Pennsylvania football, and we'll have that later on the show here on High School Football America. Taking a break, you're listening to High School Football America on the Artist First Radio Network. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. Listen up, football coaches. You need to check out a new scouting film solution called Crossover. That's Crossover with a K. Crossover Intelligence for Football gives you the edge you need to defeat your opponents. They not only break down and analyze scouting games for you, but they give you interactive tendency reports to diagnose your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Crossover is your personal advanced scout, accessible from any mobile device or PC, and even integrates with your existing film platform like Huddle. Just transfer your scouting film from your existing video exchange service to the Crossover website, and in as little as 12 hours, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Their interactive down and distance reports will let you visualize your opponent's play calls in every situation or formation. Crossover Intelligence will give you the scouting edge you need to defeat your opponents. Go to crossover.com/football to sign up for a quick 5-minute demo to see how it can work for your team. That's Crossover with a K, crossover.com/football. High school sports fans, check out USA Today High School Sports, America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out USA Today, HSS.com, the best in the game for everything high school football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Tony the Tiger reminding all you dads out there, whenever you sit down with the kids and share your love and your passion for the game of football, you do it over a bowl of Frosted Flakes. Well, unless you've been living under a rock over the last 6 years, everyone knows that out of Nevada, Bishop Gorman, the Gaels have done some wonderful things. In-state, 6 straight state championships, a national championship last year as USA Today names them as their national champs. It was led by Tony Sanchez, the head coach who's now on at UNLV, but his right-hand man, his brother, Kenny Sanchez, is taking over and picking up right where his brother left off, playing one of those rugged national schedules to go along with his in-state schedule. And Coach Sanchez, who has a big game this weekend on national television against Chandler. We had Sean Aguano on the show last week, and Kenny Sanchez is here to talk about that game, plus a lot more. The 2015 season upon us, and he's here to talk about it. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We're happy to have you here, and I guess let's just dive right into it. You and your brother just built a juggernaut there, 85-5 during your time. The school was on an uptick when you guys took over, and now you go from defensive coordinator to head coach, and you're still the DC. I guess the first question would be, what's the biggest difference with a Kenny Sanchez run Gaels versus Tony?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of difference. I mean, you're going to have differences in personalities slightly, but we are brothers, so it's going to be ever so slightly. But yeah, from practice plans to weight room to how we kind of facilitate everything, nothing hasn't changed. I haven't wanted it to be like that. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why they wanted to keep me around, and we've had so much success with the blueprint that we've been going off of for 6 years. So, I mean, we've been trying to keep it as steady Eddie as possible.
Do not have to fix something that's not broken. Kenny Sanchez from Bishop Gorman in Nevada on the line tonight talking Gaels football. And we're going to dive into some of the big games and some of the great talent he has. Last question about brother, though, is when you took the job and you got the job, any great advice from Tony saying, hey, Kenny, this is what you have to do, or watch out for this?
The best advice I've gotten is working under him for the last 10 years. 4 years prior to that at California High School. Then I had a small stint at a junior college in Iowa as a defense coordinator, and I came back over here for 4 years. So I've been getting advice for 10 years underneath him. So there wasn't a whole lot of, and he just moved right across town to another school. So it wasn't, hey, I'm going to the East Coast and I'll see you later, buddy. So we still talk on a regular day basis, and questions come up that I have and concerns, and I always give him a call. And so it's an ongoing process and relationship that's going to obviously will continue forever.
Talking with Kenny Sanchez tonight on High School Football America. They open the season this weekend on national TV against Chandler out of Arizona. Let's talk about the schedule before we get into the players. A couple of weeks ago, I wrote, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's the famous saying, but that doesn't apply to your schedule, as you guys have taken on a big national schedule. Let's before we kind of break that down, just the philosophy and how much fun has it been as an assistant coach and now a head coach to really take on the best in America when it comes to high school football?
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, anytime you get a chance to go out and compete against some of the best teams, not just in Nevada, but in the country, that's a blessing. I mean, it's great that we have the ability as a school to be able to do that. I mean, from the administration to the boosters to let us go out and compete against those schools has been awesome. And it just makes you better. I mean, if you're running in a race all the time against someone the same speed as you, you're not going to get much faster. But you start running against guys that are faster than you, you start to catch up and hopefully pass them up. That's what we've been trying to do with our schedule.
Yeah, it happened last year, national championship for USA Today. They've been doing it since the early 80s. It's kind of the pinnacle there. For the people that don't know the schedule, you open with Chandler from Arizona, Bingham from Utah. That's a road game. You go to Washington, Bellevue, the power there. Long Beach Poly from here in Southern California, along with Servite. Then you get a little break with the Nevada schools, and then Don Bosco Prep from New Jersey. Let's talk about Chandler. Coach Iguano was saying so many great things and talked about your relationship last week. They've got a game underneath their belts. What sort of an advantage does that give them heading into your opener on Saturday?
I think it gives us an advantage because we went out and watched it, so we know exactly what's going on. No, I've been asked that question a couple times. You can look at it two ways. One way, you say that we're healthy and we're ready to go because we haven't played yet, so we don't have to worry about anyone getting injured. But, for them, they got a game under the belt, and, they got to run, more of their plays. And, but at the same time, we know we had a scrimmage, too. So, I don't know how much an advantage it is, really. I mean, I guess we'll see game time, how we play and if we're ready to go, So I think we'll be all right. It was good to go out there and see them play. They got a great football team, and, I know Sean really well because I got to coach with him at the Army All-American game a couple years ago, and he's a great coach. They got a great program with a bunch of great kids. So, we're looking forward to the contest. Talking
to Bishop Gorman head coach tonight, Kenny Sanchez taking over the program, still the DC. And, maybe I'll before we get into some of the other games, I should have asked you this. Keeping the reins on the defensive side of things, how integrally involved are you? Are you still the DC like you were when you were just the assistant coach, not the head coach?
I still draw up our scout cards, and I'm 100% fully involved in the defense. I mean, just like I was when I wasn't the head coach. So it adds a little bit more work, but I like to do it. And I haven't been. I'm kind of a control freak a little bit, so I haven't been able to just let that thing go yet.
Okay, Kenny Sanchez talking on High School Football America tonight. Bishop Gorman getting ready for the open of the season. And one of the nice things about this schedule this year is you're only on the road twice. That's back-to-back weekends, September 4th, Bingham, which that's last year they took you to overtime before you beat them at home, and then Bellevue up in Washington. Tell me about the approach, since you guys have done a lot of road trips, but these are still high school kids. How do you guys approach the trips? Is there anything special you do to make sure that the kids are ready and understand that, it's not like getting on the bus and going down the block to play?
Yeah, we have our advantage is that most of the kids on this team, about 70% have already been a part of the team last year, and we got to travel as well. So, having kids that have been in that situation where they've been on buses or planes or stayed in hotel rooms, it's an advantage getting into the season. Also, we go out to a camp every year at Utah State where we have to stay in the dorms and, get our kids kind of adjusted to, it's kind of living off the road or living out of campus for a couple of days. So, but our kids do a great job, and we got a great high school here at Bishop Gorman, and we have great parents, and they really take care of their kids. The kids are really good. We've never really had an issue on the road, and I like traveling away. I love playing at home because our crowd is great. But sometimes getting away from just your hometown and getting to be able to stay with your boys in the hotel and having a couple extra hours of prep and stuff like that and really focus on the game is fun.
And you guys have a beautiful stadium there that a national audience is going to see this week. We're talking Bishop Gorman football tonight on High School Football America. And Tate Martell, your junior quarterback, he's committed verbally to Texas A&M, and he's gotten a lot of press. But you're the defensive guy, so we're going to start going into the players by name here on defense. You got some talent back there, Coach. Everybody says that front seven pretty darn good. Let's go by it name by name, who you like and who you're expecting some leadership from on that defensive side of the ball this year.
Yeah, we got starting with our, a really good defensive end senior, Michael Garrity. He was out last year. He missed all of last year. Would have been a starter for us, but he tore his shoulder up, so he's back. He's 100% healthy. He's a big kid, and he's one of our captains. He's going to be a good football player for us. And then we got Kevin Tanseroff at D tackle, following him with C.J. Ned right behind him. And then Haskell Garrett playing the 1 or 3 technique. He's got offers from Texas A&M, USC, anywhere really. He played defensive end for us last year as a sophomore, had 11.5 sacks. He's going to move down to D tackle. He's about 6'3", 290 right now. Great leader, really vocal, plays really hard. He's a good football player. And then we got Mac Wilson at the other DN. Was a junior last year, didn't see a whole lot of playing time. Going to be a senior this year. He worked his butt off in the weight room. He's a great football player. We're looking for him to make big things for us. And then at linebacker, we got Farrell Hester, who's our middle linebacker. He started for us last year at Sam linebacker. He moves just to the other inside. He's a good football player. He's going to be a junior. We got Ikem Okiki, who's going to be a senior. He's got a couple of scholarship offers, started for us last year, outside backer. And then we got a kid, EA, who was playing the Sam linebacker, really good kid. He's only going to be a sophomore, but we expect big things out of him. He can run sideline to sideline. And then at corner, we got Alex Perry, who's back. He's been a 2-year varsity player. He's only going to be a junior. He's committed to Arizona State. At free safety, Bubba Baldwin, who's committed to Oklahoma State. He started for us last year as a sophomore. He'll be a junior. At strong safety, we have Greg Francis. Bubba's the free strong, and Greg Francis is the free safety. He's going to be a junior as well. Big rangy kid. He's about 6'2". And then at the other corner is Malik, and he's a really good football player. Malik Houseman, he'll be good for us. He'll only be a junior too, so we're pretty young on defense still. But we expect really good things, and we got some good backup players behind those guys, too, that they're going to help fill some roles.
Yeah, you guys are built for the long haul. Coach Kenny Sanchez on the line from Bishop Gorman tonight out of Las Vegas. We're going to talk a little bit about the offense in a second, but we're going to stick with you as the defensive guy you are. You said they're young. You've got some great talent back. College coaches are making a path to Bishop Gorman, and that's been going on for years now. How good can this defense be? It sounds like you've got the talent to have one of the tops in the country.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything always looks good on paper. We got to play games. We got to tackle people in open field. We got to cover some really good receivers week in and week out, starting with week one. I mean, that's probably the best receiving core we might see all year with a really talented quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, we look good in paper, and in practice we look okay right now at times. We still need to work on a lot of things and continue to get better. But, you know, if these guys can put the work in on the field and you know, make a decision to get better on a daily basis, I mean, the sky's the limit for those guys. But like I said, we're going to have to take care of all the little things. We're going to have to wrap up. We're going to have to tackle. You know, we're going to have to make sure we're assignment sound on a play-to-play basis.
On the offensive side of things, Tate Martell was the Max Preps sophomore player of the year, throwing for over 2,500 yards, 40 touchdowns, ran for over 408 TDs, verbally committed recently to Texas A&M coach. National audience, obviously he was there last year, but the national audience will get a look at him Saturday against Chandler. Give us your thumbnail. How good is Tate Martell?
I mean, he's really good. You know, he had a phenomenal sophomore year, and he was surrounded by a great senior class of a bunch of winners and a bunch of guys that weren't going to take no for an answer, and got it done in the weight room, on the field, leadership wise. So it was a perfect storm for him to come in his sophomore year, being young and taking pressure off of him because he was playing with such a great football team. And then this year, I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference, but now he's got to take more of a leadership role on. He's got a year under his belt. He played a great season. But, he's going to have to go out there and compete again on a day-to-day basis. I mean, this is a new season. Nobody cares about 2014 anymore. I mean, they just don't. I mean, those are memories. We got to shelf those things. They're great. We can hang them on our wall and can look at them. But it's 2015 now. Chandler don't care what we've done in the past. Neither do we. We got to move on. He's a great football player, and we're excited about what he can do on the field. Obviously,
some talent in the backfield as well. Let's get some names on the offensive side of things. Kids that you want to step up and make the game against Chandler and beyond a special 2015 season. Make some memories, I guess, for 2015 is the point.
Yeah, for sure. We got, our offense, first and foremost, starts with our offensive line. If we can't win in the trenches, then we're going to have a tough time. But we feel real confident about those guys. We got two guys coming back, actually three guys coming back. Our center, left tackle, and right tackle. Julio Garcia is our right tackle. He's a stud. He's committed to UNLV. Jaron Caldwell, left tackle, he's committed to UNLV as well. Those are both really big boys. They're veterans, too, under the belt. Sione Lasiki, who's our center, he played a lot last year for us. So we're looking at those three to do some big things, and then fill in with some younger guys that are going to be juniors that have been really good. Amir and Dupree at the left guard and right guard. They're good football players. We got to make sure they keep working and perform out there. And then at running back, we got Biagio Walsh and Jonathan Shoemaker. Shoemaker rushed about 900 yards last year. He's our second leading rusher, so he's back. He's a really good football player. He's been playing with us since a sophomore. Biagio Ali Walsh has got an offer from Louisville and a couple other schools. He's a real fast guy. He's the fastest guy on our team, so we're looking for him to do some really good things. Obviously, Tate Martell, who we talked about, Tyjon Lindsey, who's the wide receiver, probably the best wide receiver in the Western region for sure. He's got an Ohio State offer, USC, Oregon, you name it. He's a dynamic kid, and we got to make sure we get the ball in his hands because great things happen. And then, we got a couple of young tight ends, a junior and a sophomore. And then our other couple of receivers are really good too. So we got some good weapons, but we got to start with our hogs up front to win some ball games.
Kenny Sanchez on the line tonight. Bishop Gorman High School, top-ranked team in all the polls this year, coming off their national championship with USA Today. Before we let you go here, we'll hit you up with you. You mentioned all the kids that have offers, and certainly you've produced a lot of Division I talent in the 6 years there with your brother. How much time does it take? I haven't really asked this question in a while to a coach because they haven't had as much talent as you guys have. But obviously recruiters coming in right, left, and every day. That's another pressure on your time. What's that like? Does it change now as the head coach, and how do you kind of manage that time?
Yeah, it definitely changes. You have a lot more responsibility. You know, it's not just calling the defense or anything like that. I mean, so, and as far as, you know, how things change, you just kind of go with it. You know, you don't worry about the pressure. You know, you invite everything in. Like, I mean, you have to learn to live in the land of uncomfortable. That's what we always tell our kids. Mm-hmm. Times get uncomfortable and they get a little busy and a little hectic, but you got to embrace those things. And, you know, and that's what I try to do here. I mean, we just take them as they come, and things get a little busy. That's fine. You just sort out what's the most important things you got to handle for that day. You put everything off to the next day, and you just make sure you're organized. And, you know, that's what I've been trying to do.
Coach Kenny Sanchez joining us tonight on High School Football America. They open Saturday night against Chandler on national television. Check them out, the Gaels, a very good flying high school football program. Coach, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it, and continued success, and have a great first year as the head coach.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Very welcome. Taking a break, coming back with more. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously. You'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. Listen up, football coaches. You need to check out a new scouting film solution called Crossover. That's Crossover with a K. Crossover Intelligence for Football gives you the edge you need to defeat your opponents. They not only break down and analyze scouting games for you, but they give you interactive tendency reports to diagnose your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Crossover is your personal advanced scout, accessible from any mobile device or PC, and even integrates with your existing film platform like Huddle. Just transfer your scouting film from your existing video exchange service to the Crossover website, and in as little as 12 hours, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Their interactive down and distance reports will let you visualize your opponent's play calls in every situation or formation. Crossover Intelligence will give you the scouting edge you need to defeat your opponents. Go to crossover.com/football to sign up for a quick 5-minute demo to see how it can work for your team. That's Crossover with a K, crossover.com/football. High school sports fans, check out USA Today High School Sports, America's leading platform for high school football. The Super 25 team rankings and expert American Family Insurance All-USA list have been determining the best of the best nationally and locally for more than 3 decades. Be sure to check out USA Today, HSS.com, the best in the game for everything high school football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by Echo 1612. Coaches gain a competitive edge by getting Echo 1612 instant replay sideline system on your sidelines. Everyone's buying them. You're going to run into teams using them. You better make sure that you have that competitive edge. Grease boards, they are a thing of the past, sort of like chalkboards. Anyway, go to echo1612.com. All right, favorite time of the year to go back to the hometown, travel 3,000 miles across the country to talk some Pennsylvania football, and who better to do that than my good friend, longtime friend, Dave Mika, the founder of EasternPAFootball.com and WesternPAFootball.net. Over 300, I believe, previews and just tons, hundreds and hundreds of players that Dave spotlighted during the preseason, and he's here to talk a little bit about Keystone State football. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Well, thank you. It's great to be on once again, and being on means we're getting closer to high school football.
Yeah, and by the way, you guys have been working your butts off. You had spring ball, summer ball, and fall ball all at once with all your previews. Why don't we start there with what you guys did this year, in case someone doesn't know about what you've got up there, before we dive into the team-by-team looks. But what do you have up there on the site so far?
Yeah, I mean, in January we started working on, the schedules. So we started, releasing schedules in January, and by, I would say, May, we had pretty much all the schedules up on the website. So we were, the first, and every year it seems to be that way, of getting schedules out. And then, I do my 100 players, 100-day countdown, but also we preview more than 100. My goal is to try to preview at least one player from each team. And, this year I think, we got close to 300 players between the East and West site. So, we've been counting down that, and that's going to go all the way to, opening day, September 4th. And then July 1st, we started doing team previews. And, we're going to be over 300 team previews statewide. So you could try to show me another publication that's, doing that much in Pennsylvania. But there's so many great outlets that do promote football, and, we kind of take it up another notch.
You have been doing that for years. EasternPAFootball.com. Check it out. WesternPAFootball.net. Dave Mika on the line, the founder of both. And, Dave is right. And when you're doing, your passion, sometimes you like to point out how much you're doing. And Dave definitely does it. So I'll do the little brag for you there too, Dave. Let's dive right into it. Actually, before we dive into it, I'm going to get your opinion on something here. A lot of chat about Pennsylvania, which has 4 classifications, moving up to 6. What's your take on that?
Well, my take is this. I've been talking to a lot of coaches, and, they are up for it. But, I asked them, would you like to see private versus public and have that separated? And I'll tell you what, 90% of the coaches I talk to say yes, they would like to see it separated. And, I think the best scenario that I think would make everyone happy is, yes, let's go to 6 classifications, but keep the 4 public. You have the A, AA, AAA, Quad A. Now, I know there's not enough, private schools to do 4 classifications, so make it small school, big school, do A, AA, AAA, Quad A. And when it comes to playoffs, that's when you'll separate, let the public, teams play the public schools and private, and that's the, Catholic, the charter schools, and schools like that. Now, I would also like to add maybe, if you're a public school and you want to play that competition, you can go and play in the playoffs, the private schools, and be in that section. It's just the private can't come and play the public. So that's your choice. And I think there are some private schools that would rather play that type of competition. So, but to do it, it's just not that easy. It's you cannot just go through the PIAA. I think you have to get politicians involved to do it. I think there's a guy way back in the 70s from the Lehigh Valley that was looking at doing that years ago or something like that, someone told me. So I think that's the route that, you would have to do it. But I think also you might see some private schools also, suing to, not have that happen. So in a perfect world, it's not too perfect sometimes.
Yeah, it's not. Louisiana has split it up. There's now talk about trying to bring them back together. It's it's always greener on the other side of the fence, I guess, is the point. Dave Mika on the line tonight. EasternPAFootball.com, WesternPAFootball.net. Dave and I go way, way, way back. We're both old people here, and Dave's very, very helpful when we start kind of looking at our opinion part for our preseason poll. And we talked about several teams, and right now in our preseason poll, and again, our algorithm kicks in on September the 6th. So the first one is algorithm with a little bit of opinion. And Dave and I talked about 3 teams, and I've got a sleeper in there at number 23. We have Pittsburgh Central Catholic, a team that's very, very good. We've got the 2-time defending state champs in 4A, St. Joseph's Prep. They are in our other 25, meaning 26 through 50. And then we got a public school that's from our neck of the woods that we both like, Parkland. But let's kind of start with Pittsburgh Central Catholic. They've been in national rankings before. They're no strangers to it. They've won state championships, again, number 22 in our poll. I know you like the Vikings defense. Give us a little snapshot of how good you think the Vikings can be this year.
Well, the thing with Pittsburgh Central Catholic is, what most people out in the West are talking about is their defense. They have a lot of players coming back, and they said that, this could be one of their best defensive teams. Now, offensively, they did graduate a lot of players from last year, but they're a program that honestly just keeps reloading, and you just look at them; they got to be the heavy favorites. I would say in Quad A, definitely in the West, to come out and probably go and challenge for a state title this year. They're definitely going to be ranked, I would think, top 5 teams going into the season by most people in the state this year.
Well, we think we're a little bit smarter than them. Our algorithm's smarter. That's why we have them in the top 25. We'll see if we're right about that. Now, we will talk about prep, but you and I had a long conversation about Parkland and what they did last year and how close they were to go into a state championship. St. Joseph's Prep won back-to-back, winning last year's in 2013. But Trojans coached by a dear friend of mine, one that when I hopped into television back in '93, back in Allentown, was one of the first supporters of our TV show, The Big Ticket. Jimmy Morgans is a friend and a hell of a coach, longtime coach. Tell me a little bit about Parkland and why you think they are not only one of the top public schools in the state, but maybe vying for a state championship.
Well, I just think, honestly, they have a lot of talent coming back, and it's led by their quarterback, Devontae Cross. He really came on last year and just I thought he was one of the better thrown quarterbacks I saw in the state last year, and he was a junior. And, his leadership is what really impressed me. And when he played St. Joe's Prep this year, and that game literally went down to the end, he really recognized the defense right away, what Prep was doing. They were giving them the short inside passes, and he took advantage of it. And it was amazing. He really just marched them down. And then when Prep came up to defend that, he, again, recognized it right away, called an audible. I remember this play because I saw Prep. They adjusted their defense. They came in. He saw it. He made a call, and he threw a 65-yard touchdown pass. And I'll tell you what, I was very impressed with that young man. And, I just think with him coming back, they have a lot of receivers coming back. Their line, they always have a tremendous line. Jimmy Morgan's, his philosophy is he takes 5 starters, and a lot of them are seniors. So if you see an underclassman on that line, he's a very talented young, offensive lineman. And what he does is his offensive line doesn't play both ways. So that's kind of interesting the way he does it. But he just has, I just think, a lot of experience. And I think they feel that if they get a rematch this year down in Philly against St. Joe's Prep, they feel that they can not only compete with them, but beat them this year.
Yeah, Jimmy Morgan's a guy that struggled when Allentown Central Catholic wasn't that good, stuck through it, and led him to a couple of state championships in the early 90s, got him in the national rankings. And as far as we're concerned right now, we have them number 43 in our preseason poll. Again, we did top 25 and then the other 25, and we think they're deserving of that, and we'll be excited to watch how they do. Now, let's go to Prep. The Hawks, back-to-back state championships. We have number 49, just because we think that, based on what you said, Dave, that the opinion in our other 25 came down to you, so the pressure's on you. It's off of me. But Prep has a lot of talent. They have a great coach. Tell me about the Hawks.
Yeah, they're led by their running back, DeAndre Swift. Last year they had 3 Division I running backs, which 2 of them have moved on, and they're going to be playing Division I football. And they also had John Reed, who's at Penn State now. At times, he told me this is one of the best players on defense he's ever coached. And, he's coached some pretty good players. Mm-hmm. But DeAndre Swift, I'll tell you right now, there's some people think right now as a junior, he's the second best running back, not only here because he's the best running back in the state, but in the nation. And some think that next year going into, his senior year, he could be the number 1 player in the nation next year. He is that talented. I tell people in 17 years of doing this, I look at what a running back does in high school and just not only high school, but what they've done in college and what they do in the NFL. And the best running back that I've ever seen that I knew was going to be very talented young man is LaShawn McCoy. Well, I'll tell you what, this kid is the second best and could be the best when it's all said and done. Because the thing is, he is as good as LaShawn McCoy is right now, but he's got a little more weapons. He can catch the ball. You put him punt return, kick return. The kid could just, run, stop, move, and accelerate. He just is really the total package. And I'll tell you what, whoever gets this kid in 2 years, you're going to look at a special player because they're going to probably talk about that he, you talk about like Blair Thomas and guys like that came out of Philly. When it's all said and done, this may be the best running back to ever come out of Philadelphia.
Wow, that's a pretty big statement. Dave Mika on the line tonight, EasternPAFootball.com, WesternPAFootball.net. And Dave's been talking to me about a charter school in Philadelphia that 9 times out of 10 I mess up how you say it, so I'm going to let you do it. and let's talk about, now I'm going to give it a try. Imhotep Prep Charter. How'd I do?
You did fine. Imhotep Charter, I'll tell you what. Here's a team that, a couple years ago, they were at the 2A level. And when they went to state, I think, a combination of, they didn't have anywhere to practice that week. I'm not making excuses. But, and I think they might have thought that with all the talent, just show up and win. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what happened. They got smoked, and they learned a lesson. But I'll tell you right now, this team, they're returning 7 on offense, 5 on defense, but they have 9 or 10 Division I players, okay? Their question mark is going to be at quarterback. They have a young quarterback coming in with all that talent. But, they have Nazir Upshar. Some people have him as the number 1 tight end. They have at least 3 or 4 Division I linemen. They have Division I running back, Talik Renar. He's a tremendous player. They got, I think, 4 or 5 kids that transfer over, and those 4 or 5 kids were like the top players in their schools before coming over to Emotep. And what's impressive, too, is not only that they're stacked with a lot of players, well, they also took care and got some tremendous coaching. They have Mark Schmidt, who was a head coach for many years in Chamonix, won a state title there. He's there helping out. Brett Gordon's son, who was the coach at LaSalle College in Philly. His son was a tremendous quarterback, went to Villanova, set a lot of records. He's there helping out. So I'll tell you what, MOTEP, some people that really study high school football and really read this are saying this could be not only the best team in AAA, but the best team in the state, period, just with the talent they have. Now, they still have to go out and perform, but if they do what they're supposed to do, absolutely. They're going to be the heavy favorites to win AAA in state. And like I said, when it's all said and done, don't be surprised if MOTEP Charter at the end of the year is the highest ranked national team that you have in your pool from Pennsylvania.
All right. Well, we're going to give you a second here the chance to do what you do every year, which is predict the 4 champions. But let's give a little bit of props because we have a lot of good small school football in Pennsylvania. Give me a couple of teams there, 2A, 1A that you're thinking could do some good things this year.
Well, you know what? We'll start with a 1A, and we'll start with a team out of District 3, and that's Camp Hill. Camp Hill, I'll tell you what a tremendous team they are. They're led by their all-state quarterback, a Division I kid, Michael Schuster. I mean, this is a kid that last year, I think he passed for over, I think it was 3,600 yards passing, 42 touchdowns. But they also have a running back that had, I think, all-purpose yards over 2,600 yards, okay? So, it's just they have 9 returning on offense, 9 on defense, and they're just stacked, and they're going to be one of the favorites to go to Hershey. And if you want to have a little prediction, my predictions in Class A is going to be Camp Hill coming out of the East and Clareton out of the West, and that will be a tremendous game. I know Clareton lost a tough game. You had a classic. You had the best offense in the state going against the best defense in the state statistically, and defense won. But this year, it's going to be an offensive show. It's going to be probably like a basketball score. and if I would have to pick a winner, I think, my heart would be with Camp Hill, being the East guy, but something says Clareton might do it this year and win it. But we'll see. It's going to be a great game no matter what if those two teams do hook up.
And Clareton, of course, the state's longest win streak. They have the longest in the nation that was snapped. I guess that was last year it was snapped, right? When they, or was it 2 years ago? Yeah, last year it was snapped. But great program. A little bit of a bad ending to the game last year that I guess has been finally kind of put to rest. Clareton and Bishop Guilfoyle, right? There was a little bit of a skirmish at the end. That's to rest. So let's. Am I right about that or wrong?
Well, no, you're right about that, and that's the issue, because you have to look at that, because the PIAA, they're on probation, and their probation is very simple. One kid throws a punch, they forfeit the season. Okay? Now, you have teams that know that and may egg on those kids.
That's unfortunate. Wow.
The key word for Clareton this year, they're absolutely key for their season is discipline.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't have discipline and one kid makes one stupid mistake and throws a punch, guess what? They could be undefeated and their season's done.
Wow, interesting. Dave Mika on the line tonight. He's already given his 1A there. So let's go. I think did you have all 4 last year or 3? I can't remember. But let's see how you do this year. Let's go 2A, 3A, and then 4A for state champs.
Okay. All right. Well, 2A. I'll tell you what. 2A. There's a lot of really good teams out there. You have Southern Columbia, who's going to be very good again this year. Montoursville in the same district, who their quarterback is Mike Messina's son. If not many people know who Mike Messina is.
Old people do.
Maybe, some people obviously hear, he's a great Yankee pitcher and a Baltimore Oriole pitcher, and also played at Stanford in college, so people out on the West Coast may remember him there. That's 2 very good programs. West Catholic's going to be good. North Schuylkill out of District 11 is going to be good. Loyal Sox, Berks Catholic, Wyatt Missing. There's a lot of very good teams, but there's no one really standing out in Double-A in the East that, I see. I think Aliquippa is going to be the favorite to come out of the West. But if I had to pick a team, possibly if West Catholic puts everything together, just with those athletes, they may have a great shot to, come out of the East. So I'll go with West Catholic and possible Aliquippa and Aliquippa winning.
Okay. 3A.
3A, without a doubt, MLTech Charter in the East. They are absolutely the favorite. In the West, you have some East teams that actually play in the West bracket. So a team like Bishop McDevitt could possibly get back to Hershey. Thomas Jefferson's going to be pretty good from the West. If I had to pick someone, you have Erie Cathedral Prep, those teams. But I probably would go with McDevitt again and make it an all-East final and have MLTEP versus Bishop McDevitt in the AAA finals and MLTEP making history and being the first public school out of Philadelphia to win a state championship in football.
Interesting. And let's wrap up with 4A. Can the Hawks of St. Joe's get a three-peat, or who do you see in the final, and who do you like once they get there?
Well, this is interesting. I think, St. Joe's Prep is going to take just a minor step back. I think, obviously, they have a very good program, a very good team, and also one of the most dynamic players in the state, DeAndre Swift, in the country. This kid, we talked about him. He's just one-of-a-kind player. I mean, when the coach says in his preview, his line was, best player I've ever coached. That says it all right there, okay? I think it's going to come down to St. Joe's Prep and Parkland in the East, because the winner of that will play District 1. District 1 is actually down this year. Coatesville, they have some players back, including a talented quarterback, but it'll remain the same because they have a lot of offensive linemen who graduated last year, so they do have a lot of young players in key positions. So, you have the North Penns who, they have some players back on offense, and they're led by their talented running back, West. And basically, if you really look at it, Upper Dublin, who's actually on my website today, they're my number 9 team. They right now have the most coming back. And right now, just on paper, would have to be the slight favorite to win District 1. But District 1's open, and I think District 1's going to be down. I don't think there's going to be no tremendous program in District 1 this year that's going to come out. So looking at it, I think Parkland's the best Quad A public school in the East. They played Prep tough last year. I think it's going to be a tremendous game again. You know, I'd love to see Parkland get there, do it, but I just think Prep has a great player, a great team, two-time defending champs. They're going to find a way to win again.
Okay.
And get to Hershey and play Pittsburgh Central Catholic, which will be a rematch from 2 years ago. And I like to see them again, you know, win it again and win 3 in a row.
All right, so there you have it. We'll check back with you in December, Dave. Always appreciate you joining us on the show here and laying down some good intel on my hometown state. And always a fun time of year, and just appreciate it. By the way, folks, Dave's counting down his top 10 big schools and small schools, and they'll be just get up to number 1 just before the season starts, September 4th, which is next week. So, Dave, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch up with you during the season.
Well, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for tonight's show. Thanking Dave Mika at EasternPAFootball.com and WesternPAFootball.net, and Kenny Sanchez from Bishop Gorman in Nevada. And you'll be able to watch that Chandler Bishop Gorman game on ESPN, along with 9 other games and a lot of teams, 10 teams in the High School Football America Top 25 on national television throughout the weekend. And make sure that you keep up with all the scores from around the nation tonight and tomorrow and Saturday, and also Sunday with IMG playing on Sunday. All you have to do is go to highschoolfootballamerica.com. In the navigation tab, we have our scores there. We have state by state on each state by state section. It's all there for you, real easy, all powered by ScoreStream. I want to thank our partners, Crossover at crossover.com. That's crossover with a K.com/football. They do a wonderful job of breaking down your game film. Check out Echo 1612, instant replay on your sideline 8 seconds after the play ends. Go to echo1612.com, and also check out the TDI Razor. Keep those pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes. TDI Razor, razor with a U, R-A-Z-U-R, TDIRazor.com. Use the code HSFA for a discount on your order. And USA Today High School Sports, USA Today HSS.com. Check them out throughout the weekend for great news from around the country. Thanking Scott Z in Ohio for keeping the show running smoothly. For now, this is Jeff Fisher saying good night and good sports from Southern California. You've been listening to High School Football America on the Artist First Radio Network.